Hi, Dave here. I'm back, and I wanted to talk about one of the things that originally started my channel. And one of the things I had first brought onto the channel, and that is the High Point C9. Now, I know that this is not one of the most popular firearms out there. It is actually one of the most popular ones for people to talk bad about. It is also one of the most popular ones for people to make false statements about. And 100% upfront, this is the same firearm that I did blow up. I had 100% my fault. I had reloaded my some 9mm ammo, and it was not quite done correctly. And when I went to use it in the firearm, it literally blew up the firearm. It blew off the extractor. It really did a number on this thing. Now, I was able to actually get it to I was able to take it apart, get it to continue functioning after that for probably about 50 to 100 rounds. And then eventually I realized that the pinning for the barrel was also affected, and it blew the barrel up off of the polymer base of the pistol. So literally, the barrel rose up out of the polymer, out of the grip of the pistol, and the recoil spring and rod just shot out the front. Now, I was able to find those, but the slide had jacked itself up forward a bit. I contacted High Point. I was 100% honest with them. I told them what happened. I explained to them the situation, and they said, "Hey, we're going to send you." Originally, they said they were going to send me an ejector, which they did, an extractor, which they did. That was the first time, and they apologized. The second time, when it literally lifted off, and the extractor was without question. The second time, when the barrel lifted off, they apologized for the problem. They said that they would to go ahead and send it to them, and they would check it out, see if they can fix it. If they couldn't, they would replace it. And they literally did. They went ahead, fixed, or I believe they replaced it. I had actually even sent it with my grips that I had customized, and they sent me new grips and the ones I had customized. They literally replaced it. Now, they also, because they felt bad about the situation, they also replaced the magazine. I did not ask for any of this. They also gave me an extra magazine. So I had purchased this. It came with a magazine. I had purchased an extra magazine, and because of the gun exploding, which wasn't their fault, they provided me with another magazine. So, and this is how I keep it stored. This one goes inside. These are loaded. The gun is not. Uh, the magazines fit right in here. But now, because of that, I have three magazines that they had provided me one of. At this point, I have no idea which is the one they provided me. However, they all function, and I can thank Jay Dalton. There's a video that he produced on how to fix the magazines. You should definitely go check that out, because it definitely does repair the magazines, or at least make them to where they function the way they're designed to and supposed to. Now, to be 100% honest and upfront, I did not do all of the things that Jay had suggested, or Jay Dalton had suggested, but I did do the baking of the finish, which you can tell mine are not sticky. They actually are very smooth. Their finish is very good. I did the bending of the spring, or part of the bending of the spring, to force the follower to follow correctly. And that's about it. I didn't do all of them. But back to the subject. So I've had this firearm for about 5 years now, maybe 6 years. And I would say that in the time, besides the time that it literally exploded, because of me, it has functioned 100%. Every time I pull the trigger, it does give a solid primer strike. It does send the round accurately downrange. So I would say that I definitely trust this. Now, it's heavy, it's bulky, it's a single stack 9mm in something that could be a double stack. It weighs a heck of a lot more than any of the other 9mm I own. It is very cumbersome. The trigger is very heavy. I mean, I would say that the trigger, it has to be at least, it has to be at least a 7-pound trigger, at least. There is no trigger safety on this. However, it does have a mag release safety. It does have a where it will not fire without a magazine in it. It does have a slide safety, and that also doubles as a slide lock. And it has a firing pin block in there, where if you drop it, it will not release it and fire. I have to say that as far as the design, I think it is important that it is heavy because of the way it's designed. However, I would also say that it makes it very difficult to carry as a daily carry. It's possible, I have, but it's difficult. Because the barrel is pinned to the lower, it does make it very accurate. It does make disassembly of it a little more time consuming. There is, to disassemble this, there is, oh goodness, there is a pin in the back here that you have to use a punch to get to. And I have had arguments in the past with people where they claim that you should use the takedown tool that comes with it. I've gone over that. The tool itself is probably one of the things that damages the pins and the polymer frame because it is metal. It does come to a point, and the force against the pin, even if they're different types of metal, is enough to damage the pin. If you miss the pin, you will damage the polymer as well. So there is that. And I'll be intermixing some pictures in here as well. The slide release is just a matter of pushing down on the safety, as you see, and that released. The mag release works, the magazines, and this is nothing in the chamber, the mag release. It does not drop free. It does hold. You do have to use a second hand to pull it out. However, it does release and push it slightly. When the magazine is in the gun, you do hear rattling. It is not a high-end pistol. If you are a bit more overweight, you could possibly, because if you have a high grip like I do, which you should, when the slide comes back, if there's anything above this point right here in the back of the pistol, you will catch your hand on, or whatever's there, on the slide. So the slide has a very low skirt, I guess you would call it, where it does come back and it is possible to hit you. The 40 cal has the same, and if not a little lower, and it has caught me. So the C9 hasn't, but the 40 cal has. Overall, it is one of my guilty pleasures because of the weight of the gun. The recoil mitigation is quite good. It does, because of the weight, it does mitigate a lot of the recoil of the firearm firing. So you do end up with a much smoother firing pistol. As far as the sights on it, the sight is actually pretty good. I mean, you can get a really good sight picture. I did try the Ghost Ring on the 40, and I wasn't impressed by the Ghost Ring. I do like the sights that come with it from the factory. As far as hold, you are able to get a decent enough hold on it. I mean, I've got big hands, and I'm able to hold the pistol quite well. As far as parts availability, you can purchase parts directly from High Point. Anything outside of like cheap holsters, you have to buy from High Point. I don't know of too many manufacturers that manufacture holsters specifically for High Points. I don't know of too many manufacturers that manufacture magazines for High Points. So when it comes to stuff like that, you will have to go directly to High Point, and some of their stuff can be a little overpriced for what it is. I have seen people sit talking about polishing the feed ramp on these. I haven't seen a need for that. Mine has functioned from, I would say, the first maybe 50 rounds after before break in, because at least 50 rounds is break in for me on these. I would say after the first 50 rounds, I haven't had any misfeeds due to the feed ramp. The bullets feeding in seem to have smoothed it out itself, basically removing that coating that's on there. Other than that, I wouldn't really have any complaints about this. I mean, it has functioned. It fires 100%. I've thrown my reloads through it. I've thrown self-defense ammo through it. I've gone with very cheap steel ammo. I've gone with white box, and I would say that it chews up and eats up pretty much everything I put in it. Accuracy is still good, but once again, what is your opinion on this? Do you guys own a High Point? Are you coming here to see my opinion on something that you already have? Are you considering getting one? If you're considering getting one, honestly, my opinion on that is they're fun. There are better options if you can afford it. If you can't afford it and you only have the 150 for a used around to about, and I've seen them as low as 125 for used, to 175, 180 for a new one. If you only have that, then this is probably going to be your best option. If you have the means to spend a little more, then I would suggest probably the Taurus PT111 G2, or even the G2C or something to that effect. Ruger makes the LCP, which is good. They also make the LC9, which is good. And those are usually below $200. If you're going for something like that for a self-defense and you only have a small amount of money, there are better options. But for a fun knock around, throw it in the back of a closet, throw it in a lockbox in your trunk where it's going to bounce around, throw it in your tackle box if it's legal where you live, then this is probably your best bet. Something like this, it's tough. It's going to take one hell of a beating, and it's still going to be accurate at the end. You may end up breaking off a sight. You look down the top of the pistol for close range if needed, but otherwise, I mean, it's going to take one hell of a beating, and it's just going to keep going. This has been proven over and over again in videos online and in YouTube where people have tried to destroy these things and they still fired afterwards. So once again, if you're going for self-defense, there are better options. If you're going for something that you want to throw in something that'll take a beating like you wouldn't believe, this is going to be it. Pretty? No. Effective? Yes. Something I would carry every day? If I didn't have a choice, yeah. But since most people do, I would say that probably not the best for carrying every day. But that's my opinion. Feel free to give yours down below. You can give your opinion. You can give me reasonings for what you believe. As long as it's reasonable and it's not insulting, I'll listen to what you have to say. Otherwise, check out my wife and my channel on Twitch. We stream every Friday night at 5 p.m. Chicago time, not time zone. We have a YouTube channel that I'll link to that we repost all of our streams to. And this is Dave. We'll see you next time.